Hey everybody, it's Belinda. In this video, I'm having a discussion with Brandee from Be Out the Box. People with disabilities have been disproportionately impacted by COVID-19 pandemic. And we face many and have faced many barriers throughout the pandemic. For example, they may have difficulty engaging in preventive measures or experience disruptions to health services they normally rely on. What is your take on that?
Yeah. So, I guess I can go this. I don't even think we have enough time. What time is it to even go through this? Because I've seen a lot, the way the COVID restrictions have impacted the lives of people with disabilities specifically, but definitely, okay, I'll share one example from my life that I'm actually about to post my next blog post about is trying to get just your medical equipment and things that you need, right? Because some of the facilities are not fully staffed, and so there may be delays in getting your medications, maybe delays in getting medical equipment. For example, for me, I needed a new rollator, and luckily I have one. The one that my primary one broke, the brakes broke, okay. So that's not good. And then so I had a backup, but it's really weak, and I'm not really trusting it. It's like you have a backup car. It's kind of raggedy. You don't really want to bother with it, but if you have to, you will. And so I've been working with it, but I've been requesting, like, since it was the Tuesday after Martin Luther King's Day is when I put in a request to my doctor to get a new rollator. Mm-hmm. And I still don't have it, Belinda. I still do not have my new rollator. And it's been, I can't even go through the whole chain of why it took so long from my doctor's office to get the paperwork in, to the people who have to distribute the rollator, to the fact that they told me that they were going to ship it to my house. Now I got to have somebody go pick it up. That's the latest news. Wow. It's been weeks. That's ridiculous. And that's the kind of things that people have been going through, because it's like a trickle down effect that I don't think people are actually thinking about. Like, if the main office is closed or short staffed because everybody there, they have limitations on how many people can be in the office, then it's going to take longer for people to get their stuff. And then it's depending on your need, this is a big deal. If you wear glasses, if I take too long getting your glasses back to you, how does that work? That's right. So can't work. And and so we got to hurry up and get things back up and running, or prioritize like health needs and things like that, because everybody doesn't have a spare walker or a spare rollator or somebody to roll them around the house, or depending on what they need. And so that's it's a priority. And that's, I was gonna say, thankfully you have a backup, but if you didn't, you would just be waiting for months. Yeah, I don't even know what one does. It's always my question. I know it's oh, look on the bright side. Yeah, that's right, I look on the bright side, but you can't help but think about if someone does not have that, what do they do? And that's how we need to kind of approach things, in order to make things better. Everybody's not like me. Everybody doesn't have this, that kind of thing. And I always have to talk about the doctor's office, because that's kind of my outing these days. That's where I go. I don't have to go anywhere else. I work from home. I go to the doctor's office, So one of the things that too, just thinking about things that impacts the COVID restrictions have made an impact on not just people with MS or people with disabilities, but anybody or a lot of people, is just who can go into the doctor's office with you. I'm just thinking people going for chemo, people having babies. Sometimes people they've been going at it alone. And I think for me, it's been very stressful, because my husband usually is able to go to the doctor's office with me, but lately he cannot. And that's stressful. My blood pressure has been high every time I go there for my monthly appointments, because he helps me get around. People have emotional support animals. I have an emotional support human. He supports me. He's there. He helps me, and he can't come. And I think with having a disability, particularly a mobility disability, I had a couple weeks ago, I had to go for an MRI. That requires me to get out of a chair and get on a table. They had people there to help me, but I'm not gonna lie. For me, that was stressful. Just trying to think through that. And it's but I went to another type of doctor, and they let everybody in. So it's I know everybody, they have to do what they think is safe and what will help people, keep us, it's supposed to be for our safety. But I think they have to really think through it can't necessarily be a one size fits all. Like nobody can have anybody in. Like, why is this person bringing people in? You know, am I just, you know, did he just bring me some French fries? Are we just sitting chatting it up while I'm getting my medicine? Or is this person actually here to help? And I think hopefully we can kind of like get some of that back soon. I know it's like kind of, I feel like it's on the bottom of the list of things that we need to do. But yeah, that's one of the things I think, one of the other things I think has been a big adjustment around this period with the COVID restrictions.
And that, I mean, you gave a really good example because, you know, your husband's not there he's not there to keep you company. He's there for a purpose, you know, for your support, for you. So I think that it is not a one size fits all. You worded that perfectly. It's not a one size fits all. So what can you do? What did you tell your doctor when you had to go? They didn't care?
No, they don't care. They don't care. I'm sorry, I can't think of anything that they have not said anything. They're just like, oh, you feel, you're stressed out by this or whatever. And so it's like my husband comes, you know, he drops me off at the door. They're like, yeah, you know, like basically shooing him away before I can even get my temperature taken. You're right. It's not a one size fits all, but I need to understand what are the exceptions then, because it doesn't seem fair to me and it's not clear to me. So, but yeah, no, they don't care because they think they're doing it for safety. So.
I mean, I get that, but there are exceptions, but you can have a support system there safely.
Yeah.
You know, so you can. So I know that's but that is your next article. That's your next article that you're posting about. Is that what you said?
About the rollator situation.
Oh, the rollator.
Yes. Yeah.
Because I know you talked about your doctor's appointment before.
All the time. I think I have a story about the doctor's appointments or something about the doctor every single time I speak to you. There's always something. But like I said, that's my outing. That's where I go. So I don't have to talk about anything else, because beyond getting food, that would be my other, I think, talking about like disruptions or another impact, a big impact on the disability community would be around, like, you know, a lot of people been getting food delivery, you know, and so it may take people who are already using food delivery services longer time to get their food. And so, you know, everybody doesn't have the option to go to the store, you know, and stuff like that. So that's been another thing too, like just disruption in getting the food. Yeah. But then there have been some, I guess, highlights when you think about it too. And just particularly the use of technology to kind of keep people connected in some way, you know, using like the virtual platforms and Zoom or whatever. Just I've been doing a lot of adaptive exercise classes, and every time there's someone on there like, oh my God, I'm so excited because I would have known about this group otherwise, or I don't get to go to the gym, or I usually don't work out too often because, you know, it's a lot for me to get there or for me to do things. And so I think that I've been enjoying those classes. I've been doing dance and everything. And like, I mean, I met people that I wouldn't have met otherwise. I mean, I have my class that's in California. Like I'm in Georgia, you know, and I have somebody in Chicago, you know, another class and that kind of thing. So I hope that some of that continues, and that's a blessing to me and people who have access to that. But again, like I said, all the time, I always like to think about the other side. Some people don't have access or means. I mean, you think about some of the rural communities, their access and internet access and stuff. Some of it is not as good. I mean, I get upset when I have to wait 2 minutes for an app to download, and they're like, well, 2 minutes is good, you know? So just thinking about that. But I do think, I do like how technology has been able to kind of keep people together or join people who wouldn't have otherwise been united during this period. And I hope we do keep that.
Because I remember having a talk with you that, because your family's not in Georgia, but you've seen your family more during this pandemic via y'all Zoom calls than you have prior to that. So that has been, I mean, like how much more would you say you've seen them?
Wow. Well, especially in the beginning of the pandemic, you know, I don't know, we got into Zoom fatigue for a minute. So it kind of, we hit a lull, but in the beginning, I think we were like every couple weeks. Like I definitely, like I would normally only see them like face to face, maybe once or twice a year. But this past year, I saw them at least like 8, 9, well, probably, I want to even say more than that. At least we'll say we averaged at least once a month.
Wow.
At least.
Wow.
So that was awesome. And that's also something to remember as I'm sure in the future, we'll be talking more about social isolation, because that is a way to connect with people. And while everybody else goes back to their lives in the field, in the community or whatever, because the shopping center was really, on jam and on pack yesterday because the weather was nice and everybody was itching to get out. Which I'm not gonna act like I just want to be here all the time either, but I do know that I won't be out quite as much. But to not forget people at home who still don't have those means, or they still don't go out as much and that sort of thing. So I hope that people continue to remember that, and Zoom is not going to stop. Zoom is still there. Skype is still there. FaceTime is still there, that kind of thing. Even once we start to resume more face-to-face activities as well.
I hope you enjoyed that video. I have lots more to discuss with Brandee from Be Out the Box. Please make sure that you subscribe to this channel, like this video if you got some value out of it, and hit the alert button so when new videos come out, you will be alerted. I'll see you in the next video.